Greetings to all and welcome to the virtual classes of Divine Public School Monapur Gorakhpur. This is the virtual class of class 4 subject English 1. Today we are going to start our lesson number 5, The Distinguished Stranger, written by R.L. Stevenson. Lesson 5, The Distinguished Stranger, written by R.L. Stevenson. His full name is Robert Louis Stevenson. He was born on 13th November 1850. He was a Scottish novelist, writer, poet, and travel writer of 19th century. He was born and educated in Edinburgh. He is known for his famous writings such as Treasure Island and Kidnapped. And today we are going to read and learn one of his writing, that is The Distinguished Stranger. Let us find out what happened when a stranger from a neighboring planet visited the planet Earth. Let us read out this chapter. Once a stranger from a neighboring planet came to this Earth. He was met at the place of his descent by a great philosopher. First of all, they came through a wood, and the stranger looked upon the trees. Who do we have here? Said he. These are only vegetables, said the philosopher. They are alive, but not at all interesting. I don't know about that, said the stranger. They seem to have very good manners. Do they never speak? They lack the gift, said the philosopher. Yet I think I hear them sing, said the other. Once upon a time, a stranger came from neighboring planet to this planet Earth. Means a stranger visited our planet from the nearby planet. He met philosopher where he landed. Philosopher means a wise person who loves and pursues wisdom by intellectual means. Then, firstly, they came through the woods. Here, woods means forest. And the stranger looked upon those trees and said, Who do we have here? Then, philosopher replied that these are only vegetables. They are alive, but not at all interesting. Then, a stranger replied after listening this that I don't know about all this, but they seem to have very good manners. Do they speak? Are they able to speak? Then philosopher replied that they are lacking in this gift. They are not able to talk, they are without with this kind of gift. Then the stranger said, Yet I think I can hear them singing. Stranger said that he can hear them as they are singing. That is only the wind among the leaves, said the philosopher. I will explain to you the theory of winds. It is very interesting. Well, said the stranger, I wish I knew what they are thinking. They cannot think, said the philosopher. I don't know about that, returned the stranger, and then laying his hand upon a trunk. I like these people, said he. They are not people at all, said the philosopher. Come along. Next, they came through a meadow where there were cows. These are very dirty people, said the stranger. After listening to the stranger that he said he can hear them, the philosopher replied that this is just because of wind among the leaves. And he will explain all this, that is theory of winds, afterward, and it is very interesting. Stranger said, Well, I wish I knew what they are thinking. Then the philosopher replied, They cannot think. Again the stranger said, I don't know about that. And then, keeping one of his hand upon a trunk, and said, I like these people. Philosopher again said, They are not people at all. Now come along with me. And then next, they came through a meadow where there were cows. Here, meadows means a stretch of grassland, an area of grassland. After looking at the meadow, stranger said, "These are very dirty people. They are not people at all," said the philosopher, and he explained what a cow is in scientific word which I have forgotten. "That is all one to me," said the stranger. "But why do they never look up?" "Because they are graminivorous," said the philosopher, "and to live upon grass, which is not highly nutritious, requires so close an attention to business that they have no time to think, or speak, or look at the scenery, or keep themselves clean." "Well," said the stranger, "that is one way to live, no doubt, but I prefer the people with the green heads." In previous lines, when philosopher and a stranger they came next to the meadow where there were cows, after seeing them, stranger said that these are very dirty people. Then philosopher replied that they are not people at all, and he explained what is the meaning of cow in a scientific word which philosopher forgot. Then the stranger said, "That is all one to me. But why they never look up?" The stranger replied, the stranger asked, after listening to philosopher that cow in a scientific word, that these are all one to me, and why they are just looking down and they never look up. Philosopher said, "Because they are graminivorous and they live upon grass, which is not at all highly nutritious. That means providing nourishment. Graminivorous means animals those who feed upon grass. It requires so close an attention to business that they have no time to think. These animals, cows, they are graminivorous, they are feeding on the grass, and they don't have time to think, to speak, or look at the scenery, or to keep themselves clean." That means they don't have time to think or to speak or to look at the scenery or even to keep themselves clean. They are quite busy in gazing the field. They don't have time for observing all this. Then the stranger replied, "Well, that is one way to live, no doubt, but I will prefer the people with the green heads." Stranger quietly replied that, "Well, this is the one way how we can live, no doubt, but I usually prefer people with green heads." Next, they came into a city, and the streets were full of men and women. "These are very odd people," said the stranger. "They are the people of the greatest nation in the world," said the philosopher. "Are they indeed?" said the stranger. "They scarcely look so." Then, next, after the meadow, they came into a city, and the streets were full of men and women. Stranger looked them and said, "These are odd," means strange people. Then philosopher replied that these are the people of the greatest nation in the world. These are human beings and they live in the greatest nation in the world. After that, stranger replied, "Are they indeed? It is true, really, because they look so hardly as such." This was the story, The Distinguished Stranger, written by Robert Louis Stevenson. A story about a stranger who came from a neighboring planet to our planet Earth. And he was surprised to see the forest, the meadows, and the human beings. It is totally strange for him. Dear students, I hope you all understood this story. Now it's time for difficult words. Let's proceed towards that. Difficult words: neighboring, descent, philosopher, interesting, theory, meadow, scientific, nutritious, requires, scarcely, forgotten, stranger, and graminivorous. Now, home assignment: read the lesson twice, learn all the difficult words. Students, stay safe. Thank you.